Welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. My people, we don't come back again with another Bonga update. Right now, I want to talk about trending things when they happen for Nigeria. After watching this video, you understand, say, we no longer have a country. The way Nigerian politicians are behaving, you will understand that Nigeria is gone, it don't collapse. And if all these things are not addressed from now till like 5 years' time, we will wake up one day, there's nothing like Nigeria anymore. My people, this video you were about to watch will shock you. The way politicians are really behaving in Nigeria, do we still have a country? I go leave you, make you watch this video. I go leave you because people, when you don't even expect, they do wait till then they do. I go leave you and watch this video. I will be right back.
President of this country, Nigeria police will be proud that they are police and law enforcement officers.
Of course.
But now, you are just tools in the hands of politicians. Your salaries, your uniform now, they sew. Una charge sheet. Even for police station, generation, fuel, they no get money to buy. Moto, no get petrol, now old vehicles. But yet, politicians are using and misusing you. Look at what the Senate President is doing. An illegal suspension of a woman. Out of 109 senators, only 4 women.
Yeah.
Before he sent that petition to the committee, Activism was on hot mic. He said, send her on suspension. Let the sergeant at arms take her out. He unilaterally suspended Natasha before that committee, headed by Senator Bernard Maswe. Now they say courts don't give order. He don't go appeal. The appeal was not done by the Senate. Yes. It was done by Activism.
Yes.
It was not done by the Senate.
Yes.
Ajia, please go ahead.
No, I'm not even going ahead. You are saying order. Her hand is on this thing, waiting for order to give. Is it here?
They will give her order to go tear that stuff.
2018, police went to rescue kidnapper in Taraba. Military officers attacked convoy, killed 3 officers and civilians, and then the kidnapper escaped. That is the country that we live in. Law enforcement officers were killed by military, and kidnapper managed to escape. And this is the people standing here. Nigeria is not a real place.
Oh, yes.
This injustice will not be sustained.
You cannot sustain.
And my generation will fix this country.
Yes. My God grace.
Under our watch, Nigeria will be
My God grace.
Former governor, former Senate minority leader, former commissioner, former NDDC minister, you are not okay. Only one woman.
Only woman. You know the shame? You know the shame? Only woman. You are not a woman. Abab, you know the shame?
It is
only woman. Woman you're fighting for.
Guys, as it is now, we not go fit explain how Nigeria be. We not go fit defend the country when we come from again. Tinubu and his cabinet don't totally destroy the country. It be like say Tinubu and his cabinet get Nigeria for mad before they come into power, because we not deserve leaders like them. The same Tinubu now, that's the contest for 2027. The same Tinubu now, that's the plan of how to buy power for 2027. What a country! Because the blood not flow for 2023. Now make these people still get mind to come into power again. Many Nigerians know say Tinubu go be one of the most worst and terrible presidents when Nigeria go ever produce. Now make the fight against APC for 2023. Somebody like Just Adeto and many more when come they shout every day say me Nigeria not support Tinubu. Unfortunately, the same Tinubu use money bring himself to power, and his group of gang when they carry Nigeria they go deep also. If Nigerians not fight now by 2027, if these people enter power again, the way the first legislative mandate will not be their own, is a pity. Everything will finish, because as it be now, Nigeria be like country when not get front, you don't get back. Everything just scatter.
A married woman, your age says she's wearing transparent clothes. How can you sexually harass a woman publicly? You say do not talk like this because you are not in a nightclub. Akpabio has no ethical grounds to be Senate president. Before the committee went, he said put her on suspension. So Akpabio decided to unilaterally suspend a senator who was elected like himself. Shame on him. Who gives him that right? Let the world know that women's rights in Nigeria are under attack. Women's rights in Nigeria are under attack. We have only 4 female senators. One of them is being persecuted, suspended for 6 months. No Senate appealed the ruling.
Busy. Yeah, busy. Change. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you. We will change Jonathan, don't worry. Seize the man who is going to change Jonathan.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Politics Today. I'm your body secret. we need to pray for His Excellency Mr. P2B. The man is under serious pressure, and we believe God. He will not bow to any form of deceit. He will not bow to unnecessary pressure and destroy his political career. If P2B makes the mistake of accepting to run with Atiku Abubakar as vice president, both of them will not even win, and again, P2B will destroy his political career, and the Nigerian people will not forgive him. We have had enough of Atiku Abubakar. What we are suffering now, what the Nigerian people are passing through now, the person that should accept the blame is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. This man puts his personal interest above the national interest. Atiku Abubakar lives for himself and for himself alone. Atiku Abubakar does not care for the Nigerian people.
Everybody who's seen as an activist now, especially with our history in this country, is almost always second-guessed. You know, what are your real intentions? Are you doing this for your personal gain? Are you trying to really fight for the people? What got you into this? Was this an organic sort of move into activism? Was this something you intentionally, went through because of how you felt about our situation in the country?
Okay, so basically when you say activism, what does it basically mean? It's like an agitation for what you know is supposed to be, what is right. And over the years, we've realized that the way the Nigerian politics goes is like once a party takes over, the other party just sleeps. And they are supposed to be, like tailing the government and then being on their neck. Yeah. So the opposition doesn't even exist. That word doesn't even exist. So it's like, I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I know what my rights are. I know what I gave to the government. They tell us to come out to vote. So after the election, nothing happens. So we have to come out to speak. So in the course of speaking, it is either we say it aggressively, we say it to catch their attention, we say it either ways that they have to get it. And activism is just one of the fastest way to get the government's attention to do what they're supposed to do. So for me, the whole spirit woke up when I had a baby girl, like, all my kids are boys. And I'm like, does this seem like this environment is safe for my child? Does this seem like this environment is safe for all our children, basically? And it's like, it's becoming a norm. And then the time has come where we just have to continue to agitate for what is right and let the government do it, because we have to create a better environment. If you're not a mother or you're not a parent, sometimes you don't understand how sensitive it is raising a child in an environment that is not safe or there is no certainty for your children. So when you become a parent, particularly having a female child with everything that is going on, you just have to look for a way to get what is right for your child and for our children generally.
So when did this start for you?
I think it was during the EndSARS. The whole agitation started during the EndSARS, when I just felt like this thing is becoming like a scam, because all that time there was lockdown, and then I had this emergency in my ammonia plants, in my gas plant, and then I had to just leave the house. And leaving the house, I saw that we're on lockdown and everybody is at home, and basically the activities out there is just like there's nothing going on, So the government was still doing their own thing normally. And then we are just here, and I basically saw some police officers using government vehicles, to move passengers, and they were making money. And I'm like, excuse me, what's going on here? You told us there's lockdown. We are at home doing nothing, not earning anything. And you people are here, And that time I was pregnant of my daughter. And then I had to accost the police officer. He cocked his gun like, well, I'm like, shoot how? I took it off him, and, everything blew up all over social media. And that was when everybody started saying, oh, okay, so this woman is really, really an activist. And then during the EndSARS, my daughter was the same child that was raised up, everywhere. And that rose a lot of national awareness, so it became like an international concern for me. Like, we still understand that you always talk like you always talk. Now that you're even coming on the street and you're coming with a 3-month-old baby, this is something that is different. So everything just started about, the EndSARS and then the lockdown period.
Yeah. Were you ever interested in politics? Were you ever a political party member? What was life like before, like you said, the gun incident happened?
I'm not a politician, and I'm never interested in politics. But at one point, I've had to support, people who have your own vision. Like, you feel, if this person wins, this person can also be able to feel your pain and do what is supposed to be done. And I think that was during Jimmy Agbaje. I was all out like, this guy is a pharmacist, and then, our health system is down, the children are down in hospitals and all that. If this man wins, the health sector can begin to, have a better face value and all of that. And that's the only time I've ever supported any candidate. But politics, no, yeah. I've never been.
So, but a video went viral recently where, because for a lot of people, activism is activism. You're fighting for the people, regardless of who's in power, right? If you feel passionate about a cause, you're trying to, make sure the government does their part. Especially like you said, if they campaign and make promises, it's their time to deliver on those promises. The government the party in government now is the APC. The party in government, when the EndSARS happened, which you were very actively protesting against, is the APC. And we saw a video recently where you were endorsing the APC. And it got people wondering, which is why I talk about skepticism with activism. What happened? How did you get there? Did you have a change of mind? Not saying that you don't have a right to, but did you have a change of mind, and what informed that video that we saw?
Okay, so basically, if you look at that video closely and you look at the way I agitate and the way I attack the government, a lot of people say, Adeto, you're too rude. These people are old enough to be your father. And I'm like, come, these are the same people we write petitions to. These are the same people we write letters to. These are the same people we speak out to. We cry on their neck. I remember during the lockdown when they were breaking into homes and then raping children and all that. I don't know if you remember. I was on the national TV crying like, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, do something. People, you don't get the attention when you come like you're a normal human being, because they feel like these people, they don't have a right to come and challenge us, to come and tell us this is what they want. So I became a little bit more aggressive, and people say, you're insulting the governor and all that. And that has been my pattern, and that pattern has put my life at a huge risk and my family life at a huge risk. So, it's like my husband is from Lagos. I am not a Lagosian. My husband worked with the government closely, and I'm like in the middle. All the royal fathers, whatever, I'm like my father-in-laws. And I'm like, I'm against their government, So when I get home, the pressure be like, talk to your wife now. What does she want? And all that, Let's offer this. I would never bulge. So I said, okay, let's go another route. So I did a video. I said, Jagaban is a scam. Let it not be me alone. Let it not be my opinion alone. According to our opinion, this man is a scam. His name is a scam. His education is scam. His income is scam. Nigeria itself is a scam. I had to first break down because sometimes when you're looking for solution, you have to first break down the problems. So I had to first break all that down and said, okay, are we giving the country to this man who we feel is a scam? He suits the country. No. Everybody, go get your PVC. But the way social media is. People will not even patiently look at it all. And then the next thing I saw was, they've given just Adeto 100 million. She has board. She's endorsing. I would never endorse Tinubu. I'm saying it loud and clear. He's my father. My husband worked for him closely. He's like my father-in-law. I call him my father, and he remains my father. But I would never support his political ambition. I would never do that.
Why?
Because I feel you lay the lives of people down for your own personal career. If you say you deserve to be the president, why didn't you come in at the right time? You used the whole nation to play a game. You used us to play chess. You waited and you try, like you're matching and patching and patching. Okay, you brought Buhari. Immediately after Buhari, I'm coming. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't know Buhari's mind. You don't know what his intentions were. And during the EndSARS, when we the youth came out, when we wanted a better Nigeria, when we wanted our voice to be heard, you blanked out. You left us. Jagaban acted like he wasn't in existence. Whether they were using, he was sick and all that. And at that time, I kept on talking, and all the message I got, Baba said he's sick, and you are insulting. You are sick does not mean you can't lend your support to the people.
I'm just trying to get something clear here, because I don't want to make this about a person in particular. Because
it was all about him, basically. It wasn't even about the party.
Yeah, the issue here for me is basically, when the lines are blurred between activism and politics. I don't know whatever your personal issues are with him, but I'm just trying to understand, the video, how do thousands of people misinterpret a video?
That's the
because
thing.
you lost over, I think, 10,000 followers.
No, 12.
About 12,000
12.
followers.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
There must have been something.
Because when I came, the way I relayed the message sarcastically, people didn't get it. They just thought, Tonda will come and say, you this governor, your head is this. And today she's coming to say, let's endorse. A lot of people got it. I have 312,000 followers, and I lost 12,000. So it was like I lost the crowd, and the same people who understood me and still understand what I stand for still stayed back. And that's just the social media. Facebook, I didn't have that. I didn't lose one follower on Facebook. So everybody just thought, this same tone that is always talking about Jagaban and his team and APC government and this dispensation like this, how come she's making a U-turn? They've paid her. No, I'm still me. I would never forget the wounds that we incurred during the EndSARS. I would never forget how bad this country has been and is still at this point. And the point is, I will never jeopardize my family interest or personal interest for a national interest. So at this point, my stand is still, I would never endorse Jagaban to go for presidency. Other people can. I can decide to take my candidate tomorrow. But because I know how he has been in the journey of politics, I don't think I would want to. So a lot of people got it all wrong. Like, she's made a U-turn. All this
activism. Do you think it's wrong for you to get involved in politics?
It's not wrong for me to get in politics. It's my right to get into politics.
But after being an activist?
No, I have a right
while
to.
still being an activist?
I have a right, but I think the problem with Nigerians is people feel because you're an activist, you should tell them what to do. No, we have no right to choose a candidate for you. Our right is to agitate for what is right. Because everything about all the comments on social media, I was like, it's you, we have been waiting for you to come and tell us who to vote for. No, I will pick my candidate. I will choose a candidate when the right time comes. But that doesn't stop me, from saying that this is my candidate because I am an activist. No, I'm not going to do that. It's my right. I have to vote. If I have been craving for people to get their PVC, I also have my PVC. So we're going to peg a candidate down.
Where does activism stop and politics start? Because we've seen so many people. I've been on this show for over 9 years now, going on 10. So I've had lots of people on this show over the years who I know are now in governments at different levels, And, a lot of them sounded like you. I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yeah,
a lot of them sounded like this back in the day, very passionate, fighting. And 2-3 years later, we realized, oh, okay. This is where this was leading up to. So where does the line get dropped?
You know where it changes, like you said, is the risk involved, is the lives online. It gets to a point, and I have also gotten to that point, like when you keep agitating, they come to you. They want to know, okay, is she okay, this person wants to come into politics, and if you have that intention, you will budge. I can say it loud and clear that I've gotten 3 offers to run for vice presidency in this same incoming election, and I've said no. So there's always a point, there's always like that peak point where your life, they start to threaten you, they start to say you're not supposed to say this, you said this, and they offer you. And I have gotten all those offers longest time ago. So this is not the right time for me or the wrong time, or this is not even the time for me. I have stated it clearly. I'm never going to go into politics. Whatever offers they've brought, I've always turned it down. I woke up in my room in Dubai the other time, some few months ago, and I met politicians at my doorstep. I don't know how they got to know I was in Dubai. Same thing in the UK. So people, activists go that route. But for me, it's a no. I don't have intentions. Because you know why? Whatever you can do in politics, you can do it outside politics. Because once you get into politics, the thing is, you cannot beat them. You have to join them. You have to do it the way they do. It's a cabal. It's a system.
But
it's an institution.
True, like everybody says, you can't change from the outside. There's a reason why that saying continues to go on. You have to come in, infiltrate the system, and change it from the inside.
I don't think so. I've always told politicians who came to meet me, like, join us, you make change. I said, I would rather make change from my space. I would rather make change from the space. I have created a space for myself, and it's to continue to say what is right. About 3 weeks ago, I was coming into the country. I saw the air conditioner at the airport was not working. I came out, I started screaming. I came in yesterday back into the country. The AC is working. Do I have to get into politics to make change? You don't have to get into politics to make change. It's a cabal. If you get there, too many things are happening.
But we live in a country where I don't think we've ever had a dearth of activists in our history. We've had the military for years. So we have activism in our blood because we've constantly had to fight government. Everybody will tell you that things are getting worse every day. So is activism really changing anything?
It is. It is. Trust me. It is. And I'm going to say this. One voice, 1 million votes might not make change, but one voice will make change. 5 voices will make huge change. And every voice is the only thing we have. That's the only inheritance we have. All our national treasures are gone. The only thing you and I have is our voice to make change. So the voice makes changes. For me, maybe the way I've been doing it, everything that I've said has been corrected. Everything that I've said has been corrected. Every complaint I make, they always come say, okay, come. On International Women's Day, they had to bundle me into the National Assembly and said, okay, come.
Let me give you an example. Sorry, very sorry to cut you off, because you talk about everything you said have been corrected. We all protested EndSARS. You were very active with that. SARS was scrapped, right? SWAT is there. With the stories about SWAT now are equally as deadly as SARS was. So what has changed?
Now, for the EndSARS, I'm going to say this. The change was so close. But how strong are we as agitators? Because the time when we should come to the round table, everybody backed out. Everybody ran away because nobody wants to be held down. Some people say, my child, don't go, this. But they're calling us for, okay, you see, let me tell you something about change. Change, the voice of agitation has to be consistent. It's not that there's an event, everybody comes out and starts shouting and start doing this. If we were persistent, we would have gotten it. If we sit down at their doorstep, but did we do that? We didn't do that.
People were shot.
One person will die. I'm never scared to die as an agitator.
But not everybody can afford to want to die.
Then that means we're not ready for the change. That means we're contented with the way our country is.
So how do you change that? Whether you like it or not, it's not just a Nigerian thing. Around the world is the reason why protests, when they get deadly, get stopped. We've seen it in Hong Kong. We've seen it in places, even in the United States. Once people see guns, it's natural human instinct. So how do you tell the average Nigerian to... You said, you have to sustain the protest or your campaigns or whatever. How do you get people to do that?
The way to get people to achieve what we want is we have to keep changing the dimensions of agitation. At a point, we all gathered at the EndSARS ground. Do you understand? Your people were killed and everybody left. That still doesn't stop us from talking from our own space. But some people tell you, they're going to block my page, they're going to come and... Let me tell you something about politics today. You see these people called politicians, they are scared of we citizens. And we citizens are scared of them. That's the problem. A lot of people have not been able to identify that the politicians are scared of us. I remember during the EndSARS, the only thing that was making Buhari panic is like, these people are taking over my system. And he was at a huge unrest. He was scared. He was worried. And look at us. Common military came, they shot, everybody ran home.
It's not very common, but...
It's not very common.
You said common military. I don't know if they're common.
They are common military. I didn't see anything special about them because that has been the same pattern they use. They don't have any new strategies for us.
I think we have about 20 seconds to go because we have, I want to say, in the election season, what can we, as we're all supposed to be activists, right? What can we do?
For this time, I think what we need to do now is for us to all have a common interest and a common mind. Because if you look at the Nigerian youth, we are divided. Our concentration is totally divided. And I've been hearing a lot of politicians, like really and truly, they know how to win elections. So now, I think this is the right time where everybody should feel this, our same generation, where we call this Orostoke generation, all of us should come together. Let me tell you something, Ebuka. Mechanics know where they meet. Engine oil sellers know where they meet. Pepper sellers know where they meet. All of these people, we, you and I, where do we meet to discuss national issues? We don't have.
So final note, I mean, you have realized that your words have power. Are you going to change how you deliver your message? Because sarcasm obviously doesn't work.
No, that was the first. That was the first sarcastic.
So have you learned from that? And you realize how it was misconstrued?
Yes, I've learned that, and obviously, whether they like it or not, I'm just going to go back to my old style. Let's keep dragging each other. We're going to keep dragging each other because basically that works for me. So this sarcasm, people don't want it at all. And you know the truth about it. Right. It helped me. You know why it helped me? This same pressure that is coming from the family side and the outside social media side, they were able to identify that, okay, truly this is the situation of this candidate.
Atiku Abubakar does not care for the Nigerian people. Allow Jonathan to go for second tenure. Atiku said no way. Power must return to the north. It's not even a question whether he is a candidate or not. As far as he is concerned, power must return to the north. For that reason, Atiku led a group, both Saraki and Co. They sabotaged PDP and handed power to APC.
I also want to use this opportunity given to me to congratulate the winner of these primary elections, General Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari has been an embodiment of nation building in this country for decades. And he has continued to offer himself and his services to this country. Your Excellency, I want to assure you the support of this great party, which is the newest political party in Africa today.
9 years after, Nigeria have not recovered. After 8 years of Buhari with the monumental destruction brought upon the Nigerian people by Buhari, Atiku, without any sense of shame, still insisted power must remain with the north. Atiku does not believe in power rotation. As far as Atiku Abubakar is concerned, power must remain with the north and in the north forever. Atiku belongs to the school of thought that says the north are born to rule and they must rule Nigeria forever. That's why after 8 years of Alhaji Muhammad Buhari, who destroyed everything, Atiku still insisted he would take over from Buhari. Rather than allow power to return to the south, support P2B as presidential candidate, Atiku said no way. Through Atiku's activities, he handed over power again to Alhaji Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigeria have not recovered. You can see the hardship, you can see the hunger, you can see the poverty situation. Atiku is to accept the blame. And Atiku allowed and say yes, after 8 years, let power go to the south and let it be southeast. By supporting P2B, Nigeria will not be in this mess. Nigeria will not be in this mess. So the person to blame for the situation Nigeria is passing through is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Yet, the man has refused to take a deserved rest and allow Nigeria to move forward. Any negotiation under under which Atiku still want to offer himself as a presidential candidate of a mega party, no matter who belongs to that mega party, the party will not win. The Southeast cannot be deceived. The North Central cannot be deceived. We have had enough of Atiku Abubakar. The best Atiku Abubakar should do is to apologize to the Nigerian people concerning the situation we find ourselves and offer himself willingly to support P2B presidential ticket in 2027. That is just the best Atiku can do for the Nigerian people. Let him not make any mistake of offering himself as a candidate and asking P2B to be his running mate. It will not work. P2B should learn that if he bows to that pressure, Atiku will destroy his political career. It is necessary we support the truth. It is necessary we all will be active citizens. It's very important that we participate, speak up for the truth. We need to share the video. We need to support the channel. Let these men know we understand their activities. Let these men know we have suffered enough. And it's time for every Nigerian to wake up. If we cannot get it right, the end of Nigeria is at hand. We cannot continue and allow a group of people who believe they should not allow the South and the North Central to have say in determining their destiny, in determining their future. It will not work. It will not work. We now have say in determining our future. We now have say in putting our foot down and saying this is what will happen in Nigeria for the good of all. We cannot allow selfish individuals who hate God and man, selfish individuals who pursue devilish interests to be ruling over Nigeria. We are moving backward. Had they allowed P2P, Nigerians voted for, this suffering will not be there. The economy will not be in a mess. The exchange rate will not be 1,700 to the dollar. You can see what it is my turn Umilioko has brought upon us. You can see the outcome of the renewed hopelessness. This criminal deceit, renewed hopelessness. You can see where we are now. You can see the price of a bag of rice. Under Jonathan, 8,000. Today is 100 and something thousand. Maybe before you know it, it will hit 200,000. Because the government in power do not know their left or right. They are only in office for their selfish interest. The next money they will grab, nothing more. So let us pray for P2P. Let God strengthen him. Let him know about the intimidation or cheap blackmail or false promises that are meaningless. Let us share this video.
The minister he doesn't obey the rule of law. He's autocratic. He doesn't follow any rules or any laws. And when you try to draw his attention that governance is based on laws, the rule of law, he doesn't accept that. For instance, Abuja University had approximately 11,000 hectares. Minister Wike has revoked 7,000 of it and left them with 4. It is definitely against the Land Use Act. If I were making a list of all the things that President Tinubu has done wrong, the greatest wrong he's done to himself, the thing that has demarcated him the most, has been on Minister Wike. I have documents to show that when Minister Wike allocated land to his sons, huge tracts of land, fine, as he says, though they're his sons, they're entitled to land, no problem. But the bills, I have them documented, of 200 million that you need to pay, 100 million here that you need to pay. They wrote to him asking that the bill, he should give a waiver and reduce it. Within 48 hours, they are going from 200 million to 22 million.
And that's illegal, isn't it?
Of course it's illegal.
Right.
At the very least, it's unfair, it's unethical, at the very least. And these things, I am a civil engineer, I'm a fact person. I wouldn't come here I wouldn't say so publicly without having
Indeed.
the facts and the documents.
Senator Irechi Kingibe. Well, for Minister Wike's right of reply, I'm joined now in the studio by Lere Olayinka, Senior Special Assistant to the Minister on Public Communication and Social Media. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Good evening. Thanks for having me here once again.
So you have your right of reply on behalf of the Minister. Go right ahead.
Well, the first thing I will say is that when the minister, when the accidental, I call her accidental senator for a reason, when the accidental senator was making that kind of allegation, I would have expected that a follow-up question should have been asked. Where are the documents?
Well, she said she had the documents.
If she says it is not,
she wasn't going to put them up on air.
It is not enough for me. Can I just come here now to say, oh, I have evidence of you committing crime. I have evidence of you, and you want the public to believe that you actually committed crime.
Well, there's a difference between you alleging that I committed a crime and you alleging that someone else committed a crime.
What she should have been asked was, where are the documents? Because
there are
no documents.
Let me just make this point, and I don't mean to interrupt you because you do have a right to reply. But when somebody says they have documents, I can't start asking them, is the document under your bed sheet?
That is what I'm saying.
Is it in the hands of a lawyer? No. She says she has the documents.
That is what I'm saying.
So that's,
and I am challenging her now.
For you to challenge.
I am challenging her to bring documents showing the names of children of the minister. She should. Because I listened to her talking about the minister not obeying the rule of law, not obeying this. Does she know law?
Well, go ahead.
Let me conclude. Because if she knows law, she won't come out the other time to say it was wrong to revoke land based on non-payment of ground rent. If she knows law, because Section 28, subsection A and B of the Land Use Act is very clear. It states reasons land can be revoked. And that section clearly said that every condition given to you in your RFO, the moment you contravene any of those conditions, it is a ground for revocation of your...
Yeah, but we all know that in the course of going after people for monies they owe, especially quite small amounts of money, 80,000 naira, this and that, you go to an embassy or you go to somebody's house and you're going to revoke their land rather than approaching them and trying to get the money from them. Her argument was that's an extreme response to a situation.
The issue is this. Before that step was taken, there were publications, there were newspaper advertisements, there were announcements on radio. Since last year, October, 2 months was given, 3 months, 4 months, and all that. If government made publications and said, we will do this if you don't do this in 3 weeks, and government now waited for 6 months, will you still blame government for not telling you? Meanwhile, payment of ground rent, it is without demand on your RFO. It is stated that you have to pay every year without demand from the government. You see, the problem here is that people like our accidental senator Irechi, because I call her alias Kingibe, because she's not supposed to be bearing that name Kingibe any longer.
Well, let me take you up on that, because that's a value judgment on your part, which has nothing to do. She's perfectly entitled as the ex-wife of someone. She changed her name to Kingibe. All her documents became reflected in Kingibe. And there's no part of the world you'll go to where you don't have the right to retain a name that you changed your name to. You have every right, she has every right to do that.
We are not on that. We are not here on that.
Yeah, but you brought it up.
I mentioned it to you. If you are married to me, and I'm no longer married to you, and I've come out to say, stop bearing my name.
Did he come out to say, stop bearing her name?
Find out from her.
No. Did he come out? You're saying find out from her.
You're making
that allegation.
I am telling you that the husband did say that don't answer my name again. The husband said that.
He came out and said that.
The husband said that. The husband is alive. Said Ambassador Kingibe is alive.
Yeah, but even if he,
assuming
which I doubt,
I want to let us.
Kingibe is not the kind of person who gets into that kind
Let
of
us
thing.
not go into that.
But let me ask you
She said
this.
that.
Yeah.
She alleged. She said here that she claimed here that the minister allocated land to his children, and I'm saying it here that there is no single allocation to any of the children of the FCT minister.
Well, she says she has documents.
That is what I'm saying. That is why I'm saying here that I'm challenging her here to produce those documents.
Or you can go
there
to
have
court.
been 2 publications.
You can go to. You can take her to court if you want.
We won't dignify her for that, because somebody got into the Senate, like I said, accidentally. She's looking for a way to retain that seat in 2027, which she knows that will no longer be possible. But let me also say this.
Yeah.
There were 2 publications. One came up, the minister allocated land to JUAC Farm Nigeria Limited. And in the story, it was mentioned that the land was allocated to one of the sons of the minister by name Joaquin. Because you have a child whose name is Joaquin. When you now see JUAC Farm automatically now belong to Joaquin. And that publication also said that 2,080 hectares of land were allocated to that minister's son in Asokoro and Maitama. The entire Asokoro and Maitama Abuja put together is not up to the 2 districts are not up to 2,000 square meters.
To be entirely fair,
they're not up to.
To be fair, I'm not sure that was what she was referring to in her allegation. She said
that is the only thing. That is the only thing.
Well, that's what
I have to also clear that.
She said that she has documents, so you can go to her and make her get the documents out.
I'm saying here that I'm challenging her to produce those documents. I'm challenging her.
Well, we also
she should bring those documents.
Yeah, but you have to remember, because we just used a clip of her. I mean, we can't run the entire interview, but we did ask her as the interview progressed, whether or what she was going to do with those documents, and she said she was going to bring them up at an appropriate time at a committee hearing and present it to the National Assembly and all the rest of it. So perhaps you ought to push her to press that.
You see, you have evidence. You have evidence of somebody being a thief, and you are saying that you will produce the evidence to the public at appropriate time. Is there any appropriate time to expose a thief?
No. She said she will take it to the National Assembly and to the committees that would need to investigate.
Such document, and she came to this place to say, "Oh, the major mistake the president made was appointing Wike as minister." I guess that the moment that woman became a senator, she has not visited anywhere in this FCT. I wish that she should go to Pai, Gomani, Yangoji. She should go there. She should go to Kabusa Keti. She should go to Kabusa Takusara. She should go to Usafa. She should go to Buari. She should go to all this area. She should go to Akpo Wasa, where roads have been built, where there was no road before. She should go there, and she should go to Akpo Mechanic Village and tell them that President Tinubu made mistake by appointing Wike. She should come to Abuja public and tell the public this.
She says that the main issue is that Minister Wike doesn't obey the rule of law.
That is why I said,
hold on,
doesn't
follow any rules and is autocratic.
She's
and that when she tries to reach out to him,
reach out to him to do what?
Well, she says she's written to him
to reach out to him
to communicate with him.
To communicate with him.
I mean, she's the minister in charge of Abuja.
And
she has a right to communicate with him.
Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT? Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT Area Council? The fact that you are a senator representing Abuja does not mean that you should now pretend over Abuja. When you get to the Senate, you are members of committees. And let me also say this: the president of Nigeria is the governor of FCT. By right, by power.
Well, let me just say this, okay? So because this is important.
Let me conclude.
Land, yeah.
If she has any issue on FCT, she should write to the president, because the president is the governor of FCT. Minister Wike is superintending over Abuja on behalf of the president. So if she has any issue concerning FCT, she should write to the president, who is the governor of the FCT.
No. If he is superintending over, it's like saying that the estate assembly cannot go and talk to In other words, if a committee is oversighting a commissioner, you should not go and talk to that commissioner. You should go and talk to the governor. I mean, that's absurd.
Is she a member of any committee?
Okay, let me attempt to answer that question. She says she's not expecting the minister to report to her, but she expects to work in synergy with the minister. There is something, and I'm sure you're probably aware of this, because you're quite an intelligent man. Hold on, let me make this point.
Continue.
There is institutional oversight, which is what the National Assembly has over the FCT, because the National Assembly is kind of like the state assembly over the FCT. And then there is something called representational oversight, which she has. So if there is something he's doing wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. And that's what she said she's going to do.
If there's something wrong, there is Senate Committee on FCT.
No, you interrupted me. You didn't let me finish the point.
Okay, finish.
She has what is called representational oversight because she represents the people of the FCT. Yes. She was elected by them. Yes. And therefore, if he's done something wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. That's what she said she's going to do in the assembly. She can also bring a private member's bill, so there are privileges and rights that she has. And she can also write to him and ask for his response. And it's simple courtesy for him to respond.
Nobody is saying that she does not have that kind of power.
So why doesn't he respond when she writes to him?
The issue is this. If there's any issue concerning FCT, there is a committee of the FCT, Senate Committee on FCT, in the Senate. That is the appropriate body that you can go and talk to.
Yeah, but she can try and communicate with him first.
You cannot.
What do you mean she cannot? She can.
You can only do that. You can only do that at, okay, you can do that as I am, I can communicate with you.
Yeah.
As she is, she can communicate to the minister.
And she says she's
tried to do that. It is also the
that.
right of the minister to either receive a communication or not.
Well, not on that level.
No,
I mean, it is inappropriate
because
not to respond to a senator in charge of an entire senatorial district.
Nothing is okay. If a senator writes to you now that you should remove your shirt,
that's an absurd analogy.
We were saying
it's an absurd analogy.
When a senator begins to write that it is wrong for government to sanction those who refuse to pay ground rent. When the senator begins to write that it is appropriate for people who own property not to pay their dues, because he said so. It is in the media. And you want that kind of senator to be taken seriously?
No. I think you're taking it a bit too far. But you see, the point is this. There is nothing wrong with... Look, in every situation...
Governance is not
I'm
personal.
sure you have good experience
I said,
of
my
law.
brother, governance is not personal.
No.
It is an institution.
Yeah,
She's a member of the Senate.
But the point,
if she asks anything concerning the FCT, there's Senate Committee on FCT. There's Senate Committee on FCT Area Council. Well, why can't she approach those committees?
Let me attempt to answer that, and I don't speak for her. But I mean, the point is this: there are a number of things that are taking place. If you say you're going to revoke somebody's land, there are always, even in court, there are mitigating circumstances. And it is for her, who represents the people of the FCT, to intercede on their behalf.
Did she
try and communicate.
Did she do that?
Well, that's what she said. She said she tried to communicate with your people, with the minister, and the minister refused to respond.
Let us differentiate issues. There's difference between doing your job and playing to the gallery.
Yeah.
If she actually wants to do her job, there's a stipulated way to do it. Approach the Senate. Report to the Senate. I'm a member of this Senate.
Well, she's intending to do that.
You're intending since when now?
Because she tried to.
You are intending after she has been here to make unfounded allegations.
What she did was that she tried. According to her, let me just make the point. Let me make the point.
Never do now.
Let me make the point.
Try. Has she done it?
She made the effort, according to her, to try to communicate with him on several occasions. She wrote to him. He didn't reply.
My question,
she made overtures towards him. He did not respond.
Listen,
and that is why she then said she's going to take the next step.
You are emphasizing on she wrote. The minister was in the Senate to present FCT budget. She saw the minister there. Did she raise this issue there? She did not. She was there clapping for the minister, praising the minister, commending him. In the Senate, when the minister was with the Senate Committee on FCT, when she was there.
What about the issue of the University of Abuja and the 11,000 hectares of land that was allocated?
The question I want to ask you is this: which university in this country sit on 11,000 hectares of land?
Well,
do you know?
let me ask the question.
Let me you answer.
I mean, you're asking yourself questions, not me.
I've asked question. I want to give you so that you can answer. 11,000 hectares of land at 500 square meter per plot is over 200,000 plots. Over 200,000.
Can I say this? Okay. Senator Teju Osho, Olanrewaju Teju Osho, is the pro-chancellor of the University of Abuja.
Yes.
He's a member of the APC. He came and sat where you are, and he was almost livid about what Minister Wike has done. So it's not just Senator Ireti Kingibe. He said very clearly, both Senator Kingibe and the pro-chancellor, completely independent of each other, have said on this program that Mr. Wike revoked 7,000 of those hectares of land and left them with 4,000. And that in fact, because 2,000 of that is mountainous territory, what they actually have in terms of land that they can use to do anything is 2,000 hectares. And the senator gave an example of other universities that are sitting on 15,000 hectares, 13,000 hectares.
What is NUT provision on land, on the level of land the university must have?
Well, according to them,
is 100 hectares.
According to them,
by NUC regulation, is
according
100
to them,
hectares.
No, according to them, the issue here is that first of all, it was allocated by the government. It's a federal university. It's not a private university. So it was allocated by the government. They couldn't have taken the land by themselves. So the same government that he represents allocated that land to them, and they say that it is against the Land Use Act for him to take land from institutions and give them to individuals. Is that what he's intending to do?
The issue is this. Let me clear this. As a university set up over 35 years ago, the question is, and I'm putting this to journalists, apart from you, people listening to us, we should go and ask how much of that land has the university used over 35 years ago. The issue is when government gives you land, today in the FCT, there is a new rule now. When you get land allocation, you must develop within 2 years. If you don't develop within 2 years, the government takes its land back. Because even allocating land to you, your CFO for land, it is a lease. So people don't know. When you are giving CFO for land by government, it is a lease for 99 years. You don't own the land. The government leases the land to you. So the person who leases a land to you can take it back under certain conditions. And at the end of that, because the lease agreement is 99 years, it is stated on the CFO.
Well, let me ask you this before we have to go. What are the issues do you think that are challenging the relationship between the two of them? And wouldn't it be better for Abuja, better for the minister, better for the president, and better for Senator Kingibe if they just worked out some kind of a seamless relationship?
There's no relationship. One, there's no relationship. That you are a senator representing, say, Ekiti Central. I'm from Ekiti. You are a senator representing Ekiti Central. That does not make you a co-governor to the governor of Ekiti State. It doesn't. That you are a senator representing FCT does not make you a co-minister. Your job is in the Senate. Let her do it. Our job is in the Senate.
No, her job is to represent the people well.
Let her do her job in the Senate.
Her job is to represent the people.
It is to represent the people, not to regulate the minister.
She's not regulating the minister.
That is what I'm saying. It is when you see, in my place, in Yoruba land, we call something Tojubole and Onuru. That is what the senator is doing. She's doing Tojubole.
What does that mean? For the millions of Nigeria who don't understand what the blue blistering barnacles you're talking
about. Should naturally not concern her. Because there are ministers there. All other ministers, Minister of Works, relate with the Senate and House of Rep Committee on Works. Minister of Environment relate with Senate Committee on Environment. So Minister of FCT relate every commissioning that we did. 16 project commission in 16 days. All the projects. There was none of the project that the chairman Senate Committee on either FCT or FCT Area Council, Senator David Jimputa, was always available. When we went to commission Pai Road, the senator was there. Kabusa 30, he was there. So the person in the National Assembly that the minister must relate with are the members of the Senate Committee on FCT. members of the House of Rep Committee on FCT.
Well, let me say this.
Let Senator Kingibe face our own job. Let us also go and pay our aides that she's owing like 5 months salaries. You should pay our aides.
Right. Well, let me just say this, that if she is not, as a senator representing Abuja, and that's not your concern, to be fair, but I'm just saying this generally, if she is not, as a senator representing Abuja, a member of the Senate Committee on the FCT, because the FCT has only one senator, and because that's why they call it a unique state, for its representatives to effectively protect the interests of the FCT, especially through the FCT budget and so on. Representatives like the senator should be part of that institutional oversight committee of the Senate. So if she's not there, then that's a terrible error.
That should be the job of the Senate.
Yeah.
That should be the job of the Senate.
That's why I said that it doesn't concern you directly.
What I'm saying is that the woman should concern herself with her duty in the Senate.
Well,
she should not be doing what they say in the street. Cho is too much.
I like that. Well, you've had your right of reply, and it's been nice to have you in here.